Hey guys, this is going to be a video quickly about what kind of my first page domination, all the overlapping strategy looks like for my keywords. So I kind of put together just a little sample project here that is for a plumber or the plumbing market, I guess it would be. And I picked a city kind of at random, Denver, Colorado. So most people will go after the term Denver plumber and they would try to rank for that, which is a great strategy to start with. And it's one that I use, that type of thing, just a general service category. A lot of people have asked me kind of about what my URL structure looks like, and this also kind of gives some insight into that as well. So if you start kind of with the Denver plumber keyword, and you can see this kind of here. Let me enlarge it a little bit, just so it shows up better for everybody here. But no, that was spacing. That didn't help anything. So if we start with the Denver plumber keyword, and you might be able to go find an EMD like denverplumber.org and start with that. So if you were going to go with that, you would try to, of course, rank the term for Denver plumber. But in addition to that, you've got all your suburbs like Arvada and Lakewood and Aurora and Westminster. Those are all suburbs within the Denver metro area. So what I was talking about in some of the earlier videos was that I would not only go after that really general search term, but I would go after the really low competition but higher profit search terms as well, and combine those along with that general search term. So not only do I have within this URL structure the search term, or the keyword Denver plumber, but I've also got the keyword plumbing, which is kind of a synonym, I'll say, variation of plumber. I've also got Arvada, which is one of the suburbs, which, if somebody types in Arvada plumbing, I've actually got that search term within my URL structure. But then I've also got like the search term solar water heater. I've also included the word rebates. I've also included, CO, which is an abbreviation for the state of Colorado. So within just this one URL that I bought, I'm already covering a lot of different keywords for not only the regular general keyword, but also some of these really specific targeted keywords in the local markets, which lets me rank a lot of times these inner pages very quickly, and they're also very targeted, so they convert at a high level. So that will be one way I would generate leads. I would also, though, go after some other search terms like water heater repair and things like that off of this general URL that I'd purchased. Then I would also go after, so I got Denver plumber here. I would go after solar water heater in Denver. That would be a URL I might go after, an EMD. And then built off of that, I would also then include some of the inner cities like Arvada, Lakewood, Aurora, Westminster again, and then another variation of that keyword. Solar hot water is something that some people type in as opposed to solar water heater. And then those would be all the variations that I could build off of that, including also then utility rebates, which is something that gets combined with one of these really high value keywords a lot of times. So, and sometimes people will just be looking for utility rebates and not know really that they want to potentially buy a solar water heater, but when it comes up that utility rebates will pay for half of a solar water heater, maybe they're willing to give this company a call because they want to save some money and take advantage of tax credits and all these kinds of things. So anyway, then in conjunction with those first two URLs, I would build out a specific URL for like solar water heaters in Arvada or solar water heaters in Lakewood, all four of these cities. I would build one of those out. Those are going to give you a lot of firepower because it's an EMD that has the exact search term before the TLD extension, so that if anybody actually is in Arvada and types in solar water heater, or they type in solar water heater Arvada, very strong likelihood you're going to have very, very little competition in ranking for this search term. But even if you do, you're going to have this page working for you. You're going to have this page working for you. You're going to have this page working for you. And then you're also going to have this page working for you. So you've got a way to get a lot of results on the first page on a lot of different properties that you own. And then if you combine this strategy with what Jimmy does and ranks those local Web 2.0 and directory sites in conjunction with this, you've got a way to absolutely dominate the first page of Google for high value keywords that you want to go after, that your customers are going to want. and that you're going to be able to not only easily monetize, meaning you can get somebody that wants to pay you for those leads, but the people who come to those websites are going to convert at a high level because you've got very specific information about what they're looking for, and it is something that is going to be, a good situation for everybody involved. Not only you, but the people you work with, your SEO clients, and also the searchers. They're going to find the information that they want to look for. It's going to be easy to figure out that the website that they're landing on actually does that because you've got a page built specifically for that. So that's kind of a visual representation of what I do. Like I said, this is kind of a hypothetical market. It's not one I've gone into, but that's kind of what it looks like. That's why, when I talked about how I started out and really got to where I wanted to be in a pretty, short order, I didn't just build one website for each of these really general search terms I went after. I identified high value search terms that I really wanted to get, and then also the general ones, and really just went after them hard and heavy. These were search terms that I knew converted well because I had subcontractors specifically that did this. So if you've got a specific contractor, for instance, that does so within landscaping, if they do stump removal, build out an EMD for stump removal, build out an EMD for landscaping in the specific smaller cities, build out a website for landscaping within the bigger city, build out a website for stump grinding within the bigger city, and just cover all those things. Sometimes they're going to work, sometimes they won't. But most of the time, if you follow our process, they're going to rank. Just some of them tend to hit a little more quickly than others. But building out all of these different types of properties gives you a lot of opportunity to kind of play around, to practice, to get better and better with this, and to really give your clients a way to vastly improve their business on a monthly basis. The amount of leads that come in from a strategy like this it's kind of a game changer. I mean, the businesses that I've worked with have improved, multiple tens of percent from before to after, 20, 30% of their revenue increased after all these kind of properties started hitting and generating leads and things like that. So you combine this kind of with the other stuff I've talked about, or with whatever you're doing, depending on your strategy and what you've got going on. This also works for affiliate. You can see how it would work for affiliate. It won't be necessarily, the local modifiers, but it works the same way with nesting of keywords and going after, a general keyword EMD and also maybe a more specific keyword EMD that would be within the structure, the inner page structure that you would have on that general term. So a lot of things you can do with this. I wanted to kind of show this to you. One of the things that I do to make sure that I get as many leads out of a given industry or niche that I can get. So hope that works, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.